Hey guys, it's Justin Motorfix here. I'll be showing you how to replace a thermostat in your car. Make sure it comes with a gasket. So thermostats fail by either being stuck closed or stuck open. If it's stuck closed, it will overheat, and if it's stuck closed, it will overcool. And you want to replace them after 50,000 miles, 80,000 kilometers or 5 years. We're using common hand tools, so you'll need some extensions, a plier, and a hose clamp plier. As you can see, it actually has a ratcheting mechanism. Hope you guys can see that. Now this will not apply if your car uses this type of clamp, which is a screw clamp, which makes life so much easier. And you'll need some sockets. Here's an old thermostat that is actually was stuck closed. See, it has all the rust and it's really looking in bad shape. So for the other stuff you'll need some coolant, and you might need a radiator flush to flush your coolant. That's if it's really dirty, and some sort of drain pan to put the fluid in. So here's the thermostat housing right there. So in order to locate it, we need to follow the lower radiator hose. So locate the lower radiator hose, which is at the bottom, which is right here. And you see there's a clamp over there, and we'll just follow it, and you will find this. The thermostat housing right there, where my hand is. You can see it has a nut and a bolt at the bottom. And so now we want to drain the coolant. So usually there's a drain plug in the radiator, but mine doesn't have because it's an aftermarket one. So we will remove it by the lower radiator hose. So slide your drain pan and take out your hose clamp plier and remove that clamp. Now it's time to remove the clamp. So if the clamp is giving you a hard time, just take a screwdriver and just try prying it a little into the hose. And then to be successful removing that hose, just you have to turn it, keep turning and pulling at the same time. If you're just pulling, it will not come off because it has adhered for a long time. Now the coolant is now draining out, as you can see. To get more flow from the coolant, just take out the radiator cap and you'll have a better flow, as you can see. Responsibly recycle your coolant. As you can see, mine is just going into the drain, which is not a good thing, but this was actually tap water. So I had to remove the crash bar so I can get access to the thermostat. So we're gonna take our 12mm with a long extension. That's one nut. We'll crack them loose, and that's two. Now you just want to wiggle it a little, and then the thermostat housing will come out. Oh, that's not good. Well, it looks like we have no thermostat in the car at all. That will explain why the car was being overcooled the whole time, which is never a good thing. You can see here there's no thermostat. I was not expecting that actually. This was actually done by a mechanic last year. That was before I actually worked on the car. That's why you should not trust mechanics and do the job yourself. And this is a very easy work, doing a thermostat and basic maintenance. Unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. Alright, so we're going to take a hose, a garden hose, and we're going to just put water into the radiator just to clean it out a little, especially if it's dirty. And just keep doing that until it's comes out clean. I mean, this wasn't really dirty, so I'm just showing you guys how to do that. And if you want to do it from the block as well, because the block also keeps some coolant in there. So we'll just take out the upper radiator hose and we'll put the garden hose inside the radiator hose. And you'll see water come out where the thermostat is supposed to be at. As you can see, water is just coming out. Now it's time to put the new thermostat. Make sure to not knock out the gasket like I almost did over here. So just if you did that, just put it back in its place. And you can see there's a little notch on the thermostat. Make sure it lines in the engine block over there so we don't have any leaks and we don't have any other issues. And it most likely won't even seat properly. And we'll put our thermostat housing back in and we put our bolts. Now hand tighten the bolt and the nut first so we don't cross thread. Now the key to not breaking this and seating it evenly, just screw it little by little on each side. Little by little on each side, as you can see over here. Don't over torque it. This is just plastic. And we'll just put back the clamp for the thermostat housing because it was in the way. After you have put all the hoses, it's time to put the coolant. Make sure you use a 50-50 mix of antifreeze for the best protection. Now to bleed it even more, just squeeze the upper radiator hose, as you can see. You can also squeeze the lower radiator hose to bleed even more coolant. And now it's time to start the car. Once you've started the car, put the heat all the way, put it on full blast, as you can see, so that it can be easier to bleed the coolant more after you've filled it up to the max. And then you can just rev up the car to 2000 RPMs to get the process even faster, as the water pump will spin faster at 2000 RPMs, making it easier to bleed the coolant system. Make sure you're getting heat once it starts getting to operating temperature. You want to keep the car on until it gets to operating temperature. You can just squeeze the hose a little more to help aid it in bleeding, as you can see. Now while the car's on, make sure to check for leaks where you have removed the hose. So you can see here there's no leaks at all, because once the car's on, the coolant is pressurized. As you can see, the car is bleeding coolant. Now it will start to, once the car gets hotter, the coolant will start to raise even higher. So once it starts getting really high on the funnel, as you can see, you can just switch off the car and just wait a minute and start again. It's very important to bleed your cooling system, because if there's air pockets, your car will overheat. Now I'm going to start revving up the car, and you can see more bubbles are coming out, which means it's bleeding. Now you can see the coolant is starting to overflow, so if that happens, just switch off the car and do it again. And finally, we can just put coolant in our overflow tank. Today was very interesting. I found no thermostat in the car and only this gasket in the thermostat housing. Don't trust these mechanics, they always rip people off. You can easily do it with common hand tools, and it wasn't that difficult. So here's the thermostat that was given to the customer last year, and I believe this is actually the one that came out of the car. If I'll show you right now, there's actually the Hyundai Kia logo on it. No, not this side, other side. There, you can see the Hyundai Kia logo. I hope you guys can see it. It's right there at the bottom. There's a Hyundai and Kia logo. I hope you learned something from this video. If you liked the video, hit the like button to let me and YouTube know I did a great job. If you didn't like this video, communicate that with me in the comments. If you have any suggestions regarding to my content, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your feedback. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments as well. I'll make sure to answer them. If you haven't subscribed, tap that subscribe button. That will mean the world to me. I thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.